Hi, Felix. Excuse my crazy hair. Having a crazy hair day. Your story this week is about an iguana that lived in an igloo. It's not really clear exactly how he ended up living in the igloo. He was born in the jungle and grew up there like most iguanas. Um, but then someone picked him up and stuck him in their luggage and carried him onto an airplane and took him way up north. And then someone else took him further up north. And before he knew it, there he was living in an igloo made out of ice. There were some things about living in the igloo made of ice that were fun for the iguana. For instance, in the igloo, if he sang in the shower, it made a really cool noise. Wah, wah, la, 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 and it kind of echoed all through the igloo. Um, but on the other hand, the ice was all smooth and slippery, and he couldn't grab a hold with his feet, and he couldn't climb the walls, which was one of the things he really wanted to do. And of course, way up where the igloo was, there were no fresh leaves. He had to order all the leaves, mail order, to have them delivered to the igloo. So on the whole, it was not his favorite place to live. He tried hard to find somebody who could give him a ride south, but most of the people who lived in his neighborhood were really pretty happy there. And it wasn't until a boa constrictor came into the neighborhood. And nobody knew how the boa constrictor got there. He asked him, and he said, well, I wanted to see interesting new places and go see new things. So I snuck onto a plane, and here I am. But now that I've seen it, I'm not that excited about it. And so they made a deal that they would try heading south together to get to some place that was a little bit warmer. And the deal was that the iguana wouldn't run out on the boa constrictor, and the boa constrictor wouldn't try to eat the iguana. They made their way down through Canada. They had a little trouble at the Canada-U.S. border, and then worked their way by hitchhiking with trucks down across the United States, which was kind of dangerous and you really shouldn't do, but nobody wanted to mess with an iguana, and a boa constrictor teamed up together, and eventually the truck delivered them to Mexico, where they found a nice place made out of dirt and in a nice warm climate, right next to a bunch of beautiful trees that they could live in. By then they were pretty close friends, so they decided to go ahead and be roommates together. Every once in a while they would get online and they would look at pictures of igloos, but the iguana never wanted to go back to that again. The end.